Canada prepares to meet total war, a new army enters the battle line. The army of industrial workers fighting on the front of steel. Key figures in the nation's war effort today are Joe Gilchuck, welder, Jim McLaren, foundryman, Matt Johnson, sheet metal worker, and thousands like them. Never was the skill of the Canadian worker more vital than now. For the story of this war is the story of a revolutionary change from manpower to machine power, a change dictated by one man, Adolf Hitler. In Berlin, on April 20th, 1938, 50th birthday of Germany's Führer, the world has a first glimpse of the new machine methods of waging war. Before its leader rolls an army forged in terms of 20th century mechanical science, an army whose whole striking power is based on the internal combustion engine. And as the armored divisions thunder by, the world sees in rehearsal the actual battle order in which these monsters of destruction are to be employed. First come heavy breakthrough tanks to drive through the opponent's lines, smash a path past barriers and traps. In their wake comes squadron after squadron of assault tanks designed to scatter opposition, mop up pillboxes, play havoc with communications. Behind again come motorized shock troops to hold the breaches in the lines made by the tanks ahead. Last in this revolutionary battle order march the infantry. But even here lies surprise, for among the iron-jawed veterans appear troops in a strange uniform, parachute harness. And while the tools of blitzkrieg rumble past, overhead drones a new artillery, Stuka dive bombers, more accurate than any howitzer. Significant of this German will to power is the story of the creation of the Nazi war machine through 6 intensive years of effort. When Adolf Hitler, demagogue and warlord, first became Führer, a world at peace told itself that a bankrupt Germany could never fulfill the Nazi dream of conquest. But in 1933, a new word came into the German language, Wehrwirtschaft, the organization of life for war. The family was the unit of the new war economy, and on the German family, the Nazis clamped down a rigid regime of self-sacrifice. A weekly one-dish meal was henceforth the lot of Fritz Lohmann and his children. For young Hans, as for his sister, uniforms replaced nourishing foods, for the Führer had decreed self-denial. Nightly, free to save the table scraps to feed Nazi pigs, treasured up coffee dregs, and even human hair to put Deutschland über alles. Every month, a curt rap on the door announced the stormtrooper collecting compulsory contributions of money and food, and woe betide those who had no mite for the box. Drafted into the Hitler Youth at 14, the rising generation was drilled in the doctrine of what they called strength through joy. In gliding clubs across the land, the German boy became the material from which the Air Force selected pilots for its warplanes. And into his ears poured a stream of propaganda. Lebensraum, Germany must expand. In the compulsory labor service decreed for every lad of 18, a new economic system was born, a system that replaced money values by the sweat and sacrifice of human beings. Small wonder that factories throughout the Reich hummed with war production. A nation had chosen guns instead of butter. A nation had eliminated waste. A nation had organized itself to the highest pitch of efficiency for power. The impossible had been achieved. The dreadful day of blitzkrieg dawned. Through Belgium sped the German war machine, its every operation timed, its every movement rehearsed 1,000 times before. challenge steel, and of steel there could not be enough. From the fearful devastation across the Channel, Britain drew this lesson. In the war of machines, only national organization can answer regimented efficiency. Every worker in mine and factory and office must give his total energy and his total skill. A moment lost behind the lines is a life lost in the mechanized inferno of the fighting front. Overnight, the British tradition of muddling through vanished forever, to be replaced by Herbert Morrison's simple slogan, "Go to it." Today, Canada's slogan is the same. In Ottawa, new buildings rise up, buildings to house departments charged with this special task, to create on Canadian soil a front of steel mightier than Hitler's own. Today, in 100 towns and cities, Canadians see the smoke of modern war in the making, but few have any inkling of the miracles of skill performed by the craftsmen of Canada within the white heat of industry. From this world of mechanical precision comes a weapon symbolic of automatic warfare, the Bren gun. It is light to carry, simple to use, but its manufacture is one of the most complex industrial processes. It takes 6 months to train a man's eye to test the alignment of a barrel. More than 2,800 separate operations go to the making of a single gun, and before ever the weapon comes off the assembly bench, 18,000 tools and jigs must have done their work to the accuracy of a split hair. So Canada plays her part in raising the firepower of each field unit to 20 times that of the last war. In the tumult of a Montreal shipyard, the hulls of Canadian submarine chasers take shape. Speed is essential to these death-dealing ships, and to save weight, the steel plates of their hulls can be no more than 3/8 of an inch thick. On this job, therefore, all the experience of Louis Gagnon, master riveter, is called upon. For in the stress of storm or battle, a few faulty rivets may prove as fatal as a torpedo. But the long tradition of the Canadian shipyards assures that there will be no failure. And so down the ways glide new warships, 50 in the first year alone. From assembly lines throughout Canada come trucks and armored vehicles, the ball bearings on which modern war runs, tractors to haul guns and engineering equipment, transports for troops and supplies, ambulances to rush the wounded to base hospitals. Specially designed are these engines and chassis to travel over tough country, for none can tell where they may be called upon to serve. Gone in these automotive plants is the old spirit of rivalry. In the cause of national efficiency, every blueprint has been standardized, every part made interchangeable from factory to factory. 24 hours a day they roll off the lines to face grueling tests before they leave for active service. Behind it all are the eyes of science, testing, checking, planning the future. In this National Research Council laboratory, X-rays are applied to aero engine castings. For X-ray photographs reveal flaws in steel just as surely as in human limbs. In this way, the lives of plane crews are daily saved before ever they take off for battle. And so today, in the supply trains thundering to the coast, the people of Canada see promise of victory. These are their weapons. Weapons for England to ward off invasion. Weapons for the defense of Canada's own shores. These are the men who make them. And as Canadians organize for defense, even as Britain is organized, they draw new strength from the calm efficiency of the soldiers in dungarees, fighting on the front of steel.